I'm Elizabeth Hornsby with the Lexico Group at Center 21 803 Realty.
And I'm Merrell Johnson, the cheerleader with Assurance Financial. Today, Elizabeth and I are going to talk with you a little bit about down payment assistance programs, specifically SC Housing, which is our state bond program, and how that process works. Elizabeth and I were able to work together on a deal recently where we were able to make sure we got the client closed in a timely fashion. And a lot of the work that was done was because the client was so efficient and prepared for the process. All right. Now, full disclosure, Elizabeth was the listing agent on the seller side, and I was working for the buyer on the buyer side as the lender. Now, you might think that this might be a unique setup for us to talk with you about things. However, I wanted to sit down with you all, and Elizabeth wanted to sit down with you all to talk about how teamwork really goes hand in hand in order to make sure the process moves smoothly.
Definitely.
I would like to give a huge shout out to the client in this one as well, because she worked really hard to get things to us in a timely fashion. And I know you're all like, what in the world would you possibly have to give me in order to make sure that we close on time? And what are the repercussions if you don't move efficiently? And we're going to talk a little bit about that today. So, Elizabeth, how about you start off by talking to our followers out there about the process of getting the home listed, doing the open house, doing the consultation with the client, and what that looked like for you.
Well, actually, I'm glad you asked that. So, a client had reached out to me, wanted to move out into the country out of her neighborhood that she's currently in. So, I ended up going over there, consultation, and wanted to get her the price that she was wanting to sell for so she could, get that in that new home initially. Well, we ended up, within 5 days, we ended up decluttering the house. I ended up getting housekeepers over there, cleaning the house right before we ended up putting it, for the open house that following weekend. But we ended up doing all that within 5 days.
Cool. Did you have to do things like landscaping and things like that too?
Yep. Also had to get a landscaper out there, photographer, and had a drone day.
So that is a service that you provide to clients who are looking to list their homes with you, is that right?
Yes, absolutely.
Helping them make sure that the house is ready to sell?
Yes.
Okay. So you did the open house. How did that go? Because I know that a lot of times, like I've done open houses with my realtors, and like it can be, you get a bunch of people or not very many people at all.
We actually had pretty good traffic come through there. I had some special cookies made with the house address on it, and everybody fell in love with those. But it turned out really good. We ended up having a buyer come back and put an offer on and ended up accepting it.
Yeah.
Within 5 days.
Within 5 days. It moves quick. With full disclosure, everyone.
Yeah.
So I saw the open house. I did stop by the open house, and I was like, oh my gosh, this home is fabulous, and I think I have a client who would love this home. So I reached out to the listing agent, and I said, you have got to show our client this home. I think she's going to love it. It's close to the military base. It has the space that she's looking for. It's a beautiful home.
Yeah.
And the buyer's agent was like, okay, well give me the address, and she looked it up and she's like, well, this is going to hit the nail on the head. And they went out there and they did look at it and they loved it. And the next thing I know, I'm getting a phone call. This is the first time this ever happened. I'm getting a phone call from you, and I'm also getting a phone call from the buyer's agent saying, okay, they want to put an offer on this deal, Merrell. Like let's look at this pre-approval. Let's get going. And I think that was really fascinating. So having a good lender who will go to these open houses is going to be key for you if you look at listing home, because we do have buyers in our pipeline who are waiting, and they just have to help. They just need help finding the right deal.
Yep, it's all about the teamwork and communication.
That's right, and I will say that in this particular case, the realtor on the buyer side, I will say in this particular case, they had looked at another home. It was very similar, smaller, and they did not win the contract on that one.
Stay tuned for part 2.
See you soon.